Hello, this is Gerald Juan van Waas and the educational channel in support of a theory that you can also find in the development of the word and which has also some applications and other extras that are related with that theory in the application of the word. The book was also before in 2 volumes together, but I recommend the extra editions of the separate volumes because there you can learn the theory and it's much more handy to use it. And in this book and in these videos I will explain you how letters have a true meaning and letter combinations have a true meaning, and because they are specific orientations in time and space with a tendency of also expressing certain formations. And this theory can be used to make these formations as well, so that you can recognize easily what is behind these letter combinations and what the words mean and why they are in these letter combinations. But you have to, it is not so easy to do so before you know the full theory is also not necessary, but the essence of the placements in time and space is very necessary to deal with it and to understand it correctly. This video especially is meant to express the combination of G and L in its perspective, how you can understand it well from the viewpoint of formation, from the viewpoint of its underlying directions, from all these kind of viewpoints, so that you understand well that there are layers possible, but there is an underlying foundation in it, and here the foundation of the G and L in combination will be investigated, and I will do that with a couple of words as examples: glue, glow, glove, of glove, glade, glass, and globe. So where can we find the G and the L, and why is it nice to know? Because when you experience the letters, you already have a reference point how it can be associated further, and you can sense also the positions also slightly symbolically, let's say, because it works in the same way. The G is at the back of, is almost at the back, as you can see, so it's at the edge what we can experience, it's at the edge what we know, so it is already having a reference to the head, through the heavens, as it say, the ideals what we have, but not what we can make of it. Half of it we don't know. So that's the G. That's where the G is used. It's at the edge of what we know. The L, on the other hand, it's in the middle of the mouth. You have the tongue, which is very active. It is expressing itself in its full form. We have it. We really have it, and we will confirm it, and we double it even. We make it as much. We will give it as much form as possible. So if we combine the G and the L, it will give us a specific orientation. So the L, here it is written, it is not just well pronounced, it is also taking form well, and it's doubling its form that way. The G is only that which is at the back of the mind. And so psychologically we will express everything from G to H as something that we only realize partly, especially with the G, that actually there's only a part that we will realize, what we can grasp, and we leave a little bit the rest as it is. If you would express it in a form, it is as against a surface, for instance, it is at the back of a surface, so it's there at that part, and so it is the association of being stuck at the back is a good association that you have also by realizing where you pronounce it. So how shall we combine the G and the L? So there is a large backing, it's the surface, which is we leave as it is. It's all the same for us. We don't, maybe there's a part that we also can't grasp it anymore, it's too far away, but there will be a part that we know, that we have a grasp there, it stick to us, it can stick to us, we have something to work with. We notice something that is a difference. The L is the doubling of everything we have. So if we double this idea of the form of the G, there will be a part that we will leave alone, we'll leave it as it is, but there will be a part that we will notice where there is a difference, and we can stick to that. We will stick to that. And this part that sticks can be expressed as something physical or something psychological, or the layers, the several layers at once. But that's the kind of thinking that you need to have in the back of your mind. It can be the same thing on different levels. It's the same thing, it's the same expression. So we know that we only are going to associate something out of what we have with the G and the L combined, and we will lift that out of that part that we know. There's a stickiness in there, and that will connect us deeper into the material and into the realization what we have. That's more or less the G and L combined. So what we will have, because we combine this, we have this part which is doubled by the L, which is the same, which doesn't make any difference, but there's a small part which is the connecting part there at the surface, which is also doubled, and because of the connecting, it also connects to within. That's more or less how it is expressed here. It sticks, and this sticking idea will be, of course, very clear in the next word. All these words will have this reference point as a starting point, as the G with the L, and all these words that I will do will have this starting point in this video. So with the glue, I have of course the U, which will take these things together in progression, in formation. It as you have the U form there, and the A is the extension that will make it so, let's say. So the U is always a part in development which is not fully achieved as it is from the start, and the A, which you only have written there, is the active part, the actively changing part. That are the letters. So we know already gl is the stickiness, and the stickiness is then partly on its way to become sticky. It's not there yet, the U, and the A is, it's in progress, it is going to be so, some point or another. At some point or another, it is in the active stage of becoming. That's the E to it. But glue is actually, if you write it in English, it's written not with, if you think about how we associate U, the U and the A is one of the ways. We also can express it as when we emphasize the sounds. Okay, it's with a double O. That's possible. It's one of the possibilities. That's also U, glue. We will not write it like that, but if we do, okay, we can also still understand it. It's the same thing. It has some variations underneath. It's spreading its variations. That's the U, and that will still have a stickiness with its own progressing points where it is doing so, where it's showing its progressions of stickiness. If we emphasize these O's a little bit too much, we will immediately have the effect, as we wrote it this time as O, as the glow, of course, and it already shows itself a little bit as the glow accidentally. So, but let's investigate glow then as well. As you can see, for me it's almost like I recognize the glow instead of the glue. So let's activate the formation process of glow. So we have the gl, with the O that forms itself at the attachment point, and we still have to add the W to it. The W is the loosely connecting variations of waves, let's say. We will add them here. What do we have? This the largest part is inside, a small part is outside. And that is actually also the glow, what the glow is. It's just one part of the whole, the hanging together effects of waves, let's say, which can be experienced at the end. And all the rest is, like with the glow, left aside, just left inside, left alone, left unnoticed a little bit. But the outer glow will reveal that there's more to it, and that we notice also from the waves or radiation even of this glow what we are able to experience. And this makes up the outer glow. That's how we can understand it. And if I take the old picture again, it was not glow but glue. Well, yeah, glue is also glow, so that's why it fitted so well with the O's emphasized. A little bit coincidental, but it's about sounds, about letters, letter combinations. If you express them well, it's not so accidental as it seems. Next word, glide. Glide, we have the G here, so then the E or the insertion of the E, the Y as we hear it, and I have here the T at the end, and it's expressed with D. D is just slightly different as the T, because the T is a placement. We will come to a placement, and when it's moved, it's a displacement, and that's what we have there at the end as well. So these are the elements that we already have. So we have the insertion of a value with glide. In this way, if we already know what a word is about glide, and we know that gl starts with stickiness, that's also what happens in the glide. It starts with stickiness. Then there's an insertion of a value. In this case, we already know it will be about gravity. I will tell you more about that later. There's a loosely attached connection to the next point, which will come to a certain placement elsewhere, which probably will have been displaced, found a new place. That's all something we already can recognize in this one. But it is pronounced with an A, not with I, so that's so it is written only as an I, and it also has an E extension, so we will have to add them visibly, the A at least, because that's pronounced, and the A in the background, it's just a letter that is written. That will be the tension, the intention in the background. That will be not so necessary to express, but it will be necessary to realize. So let's do that. Here's the A there added at the 2 points, so the double A indeed as well. And then we can understand what is going on here. For the I or the I, it is in my book. You can find more details about what the I is about. I can be also ideas or values that are inserted, and so on. But also ideas, and that's one of the most important aspects of ideas. Every idea has a process, because before the idea can become a reality. And this process is always encountering gravity. When an idea has no gravity, any idea without gravity is lost. It will lose its connections. It will, at the end it will fall, and it will fail, of course. That's why it's so annoying that we have groups of flat earth people, while on the other hand, flat earth vision could be interesting from seeing it from that position alone, and then compare it to from which point the gravity takes in. The gravity has can enlarge these ideas as they are not even ideas mostly. What as you have there, this false falsifications of ideas to make people for some reasons or whatever. I'm not going to talk about that now. I was not going to do that, but every idea is pulled by gravity as a way to test this idea to its common sense. So also here, also with GL, I can express as well. We have a connecting point to something that we know. We can stick to that, and from there we can continue. We can enlarge it to the process that works. If we stick to what we know, even then, if we express it well, when the gravity pulls in, we might be moved a little bit from here, but we will not fail or fall. We will be in balance. That's the T over there. I will explain it a bit better later. But anyhow, everything what sticks can be seen from another level as well. This is physical. So it sticks there. It will move from a position, and then the gravity will take in, and it will glide as the gravity has an effect all the time. When you still keep your balance and stick to what you know, when you progress forward, you will be still in balance. This gliding towards something is natural. Let it go. Let it glide towards where it should glide, and it doesn't fall down. It's just a glide towards a new position. So, what did I express here? What will reality do? What's finding the connections in this reality? While we try to give something to our own activity, gravity will make it glide to the point where gravity no longer needs to pull it back to its balance. In reality, it will always move to the right position, the T, while it might have moved to a different point as expected, or D. That's what I wrote down there. But I already mentioned just slightly the spiritual aspect, what words also can give. So the spiritual aspect of this word glide has this idea of gravity in it, so I found it interesting. So when a person follows his own path, also he should actually only deal with the founded and grounded ideas backed by gravity. If he makes a move, if he moves too much towards his own goals and ideas and doesn't stick to what he knows, then or to what he really realizes, this gravity will put this person out of balance sooner or later, and out of reality also sooner or later. That's more or less what I wanted to say. This is a background of a spiritual background that I have in several books of mine, of this gravity process. There's the gravity pull for me is very important to understand lots of ideas. If you don't deal with it, you will not understand a lot of ideas. So it is important to find that gravity, even in winter, the darkest point, as they sometimes say in spirituality. If you roll towards it, smoothly glide towards it, and find your own balance in it, what you know, what you don't, but stick to what you know and what you don't know, you will glide to just simply a new position. That's fine, you will not fall. And if you do that strongly, the glide will be nice, and it will bring you something even further. Something like that. Next word, the glove. So here you have the gle. There on top, the two glus there, going towards the connecting point with V. What do you have here? We have a move in space with V in some environment and some space, the O. And of course, how does it work with the glove? It's very easy. So it's moved into space. after, of course, you stuck it in. So it's not just stick to it, it's you stick it in this case with your finger, and hence you stick it into the space, and that's what the glove is, that you stick it into the space. As you can see in the examples, the glove doesn't have to have multiple fingers. The glove has just a space where you have to stick your finger or hand in where it's meant for. Some other example, glass was a bit more difficult. I thought the R from glass, we know it's in between a space and a practical space, and a practical thing. It is materializing. It's more a description of a material, and there's also this gluiness is there, and you try to make something practical of it. And that's in this approach, that is more or less what you can read from it. It's not 100% clear from, maybe it's not 100% clear, but you have the glue there from the glass. Hey, glue. And S mostly refers to the effect at the outside, the effect that it is really, the maximized effect of the glue. I don't know. Okay, now the globe was also a difficult one. I designed it here, the gl and the O, and then with almost a gluiness of the B on the surface. It's as if the surface has some variations, and that's more or less what it is. It's certainly not just a sphere, but is these variations on the surface that dominate a little bit more. And this confused me, because I thought, am I doing something wrong? Because we don't have so much of a circle. We still have something that we are here a bit stuck on the surface with all of its variations. Is this correct? And I looked up the word globe, and I have this definition from Wikipedia, and it says the globe is a spherical model of the Earth or another celestial body, or of the celestial sphere itself, and it serves purposes similar to maps, but they do not distort the surface that they portray, except they scale it down. And the globe shows details of its subject, and that's what it actually is. So it was probably not that so wrong, different as the reality as it should be. So it is clear that the globe is a representation on a sphere, but it is also on a sphere surface, showing all of its distinctions and variations that hang together, where we stick to it, where we put on it what we know. So we've seen it from the orientations themselves as extensions and variation of patterns that can be added in that way. Basically, it's a projection of what we know can be projected and understood as a selection of what we know. Again, with the gl, the g at the back, I said it is the reference point to the heavens of the things that we observed and things that we don't know. It's like the cave of Plato. Some things we don't know, but some things we can already project as we see it here on the globe. This we already know, this we will project, this will project outside, this we can work with. That's what it is more or less is saying or doing actually. So what do we have here? Of course, I will add a little bit more. Of course, the whole part that you see there is also behind our vision, so it might not be even the full reality or the perfect reality of it. It still is a projection of what we see, and we bring it into it. So that's also one of the objects that reflects very much that we are using for a large part our reflections in the G. Try to imagine what there's a lot of things that we don't know. We have a few things that we can we grasp, and we take them and build up something with it, and we almost fantasize something like how it should be with the things that we know. So the globes are still projections. They are not 100% reflections of reality. They are projections, and that's why some people try to debunk these globes. No, they are projections. See them from the viewpoint of the projection, and you know what it is about, and it is expressing these things very well. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video and you understand a little bit from where this viewpoint of the G plus the L is starting from different levels already, from the physical part to the psychological to the spiritual part even as well. I have put all of these kinds of layers already here in this video. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This was Gerald van Was again. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to keep if you want to try these things after a while yourself. Just watch these videos. After a while something will hang. It is something new, I know. It will take some time. It took me 20 years before I said, okay, now I finally can do this. And that's so I never talked about this to anyone for 20 years, simply because it had to be correct before I gave it away, let's say. And I give it away here in these videos. Thanks again. Bye bye.